The London Theatre Cast. Friends of officiallondontheatre.co.uk. In the spotlight.
How are you feeling about bringing Spring Awakening to the West End?
Unbelievable, really. I'm overwhelmed with the chance, the opportunity that I've been given to come to the West End with such a fantastic show, really. I'm really excited. There's obviously a little bit of nerves. Being, my professional debut, really, in the West End now, I really don't want to muck it up. So I want to make sure that I work as hard as I can and make sure I show, my best qualities, really.
Well, it's an incredible story for you and the rest of the cast, really, having come into it at the Lyric Hammersmith, most of you on your professional debuts, and then coming in a month, 2 months later into the West End. It's been a strange journey, a strange start to 2009 for you, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's 2009 is going very fast at the moment. It's going 100 miles per hour, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a great opportunity to be given. Working through the Lyric was a great start for the show, I think, because it give us time to really build and to kind of get to a standard where we can come into the West End quite powerfully but to keep working now. By no means, I know that we won't come into the Novello and just leave the show as it is. I think there's still lots to learn, lots to grow, and hopefully lots of different audiences to bring in to see the show.
So how was the process of putting it all together? Because I think you've got a cast of mainly guys who haven't got any professional experience. How did you go about creating this new version of such a popular musical?
I think from day one, really, a lot of it was just truth, and to make sure that we all kind of connected with what we were saying. I knew that we had to make sure that we knew what we were saying, because that helps. But really to have a firm understanding of the story that we were saying and what we were conveying through each other, because everyone who has scenes within the show has an importance to the story that we're saying. So for us, it was to make it fresh, and was not to recreate what was made on Broadway, but to kind of retell the story from our point of view from here, because the audience in America would be completely different to the audience that we'll have in the West End. And there is such a strong following of the show in America that we don't want to insult the show, which is performing there. So there are elements that we have to keep, and the elements that you wouldn't want to change anyway, but also it's nice to put our own kind of taste upon it.
Had you seen the American version?
I hadn't. No, I wouldn't, because me personally, I don't like to see things that I'm doing, because I like it to be from my mind and not from seeing someone else do something.
The London Theatre Cast.
Did you write this? Yes!
With such tough topics, what do you think it is then that keeps people coming back and get so excited about it?
I think a lot of it is the music is fantastic, and the style of the music. I don't think there's anything on actually in the West End at the moment which is in that kind of genre of the music. But I think the main thing what keeps drawing people back is that everyone on this earth has to grow up at some point and has to go through childhood into young adolescence, and everyone has to go through this stage of growth, and the show is completely set upon this, and it's just telling the story of young teenagers finding out about adulthood in a sense, and how to grow and going through puberty and things. And I think the issues within the show relate to such a wide audience, and the issues are not talked about quite easily. So I think that's why it's easy for an audience member to come back, is because they can kind of find their release within the show and maybe live through the character's eyes, or just to, see how things can work or happen, or to learn even. I think it's quite powerful in that sense to draw people in.
Did you feel any pressure when you got involved with it? Obviously, when you first get involved, it's got to be fantastic. Going into a great show, looking forward to it, and then if it was me, I'd start thinking about it, going, hold on, this has got a huge following, and now I've got to take on one of the lead roles. Did you feel that kind of pressure? Yeah,
I did. I was through rehearsals, I was constantly thinking about, my biggest thing was I didn't want to be a disappointment. At the beginning of auditions, I really, realised that I didn't want to be a disappointment to everyone, really, not just to myself, but to everyone, my family, I can name everyone, the show, the producers, people who put faith in me to take upon the role of Melchior in this show, which has such a massive following, and especially for it to be my my debut, and this is my chance to show people what I can do and what capabilities I have, and to be taken very seriously within the industry was a big aim for me. So yeah, I was absolutely nervous. I was excited and nervous. I didn't want to be a disappointment. You know, I needed to prove myself, and hopefully I am proving myself, and hopefully I can. If I am, then I can continue that. Really.
I imagine the 5-star reviews are probably a fair reflection of the fact that you have proved yourself so far.
I don't know. I haven't read any reviews, so I wouldn't know.
Do you just deliberately not go near them? Or?
Yeah, I stay away from them because it keeps me working hard, and it keeps my mind on what I'm doing, and not the reflection of the show. I think the reviews are very good for some people, but not for me.
Finally, I believe since you've been doing all this, life's been a bit of a whirlwind with media stuff as well. How are you coping with that side of things?
I love it. I love meeting people and talking about it, really, because doing the show, I'm doing it every night, or 8 shows a week, but I never get a chance to talk about it. So then, when people come in and ask questions, I find it really interesting, and it inspires me to keep working hard, because people are taking an interest, and that's the aim of this show and theatre, is to go out there and to capture people and to ask questions about things. So to be able to answer them and to see other people's views is a privilege, really. I really enjoy it.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Well, thank you very much.
The London Theatre Cast.